opponent to take the high yield.
Kiwikaki building some of those photon cannons in the main to deal with a little bit of drop defense. Sometimes you can get away with not doing it if you have more mobile forces, but Kiwikaki has a tightly packed, very strong force, the Sentry and Immortal plus Colossus mix. And look at this great little split by Kiwikaki, just pulling off a single lone Immortal to knock down that Marauder. But this tank count is getting a little bit high. A little worried for the Protoss player. He's going to have to control this very well. That is one of Kiwikaki's hallmarks.
And he's going to have to really rely on those Immortals. And is Kiwikaki actually going to engage here? There's quite a bit of units for DDE. He can get on the outside. Sixjax getting one volley in. I'm not sure if Kiwikaki liked the sight of that. Does not want to commit to an attack with so many tanks. He has no idea what is actually there behind enemy lines, as the observer cannot get any closer due to that missile turret.
One Colossus out on the field for Kiwikaki. And you know what I love? Just look at that mini-map. Kiwikaki has amazing
all over the
vision
place,
coverage. There's a single Marine. Oh my god, he's bold. He tries to stem, but it doesn't work so well. We see that the Stalkers from Kiwikaki trying to advance farther forward. They spot that that third command center is being placed. Big passivity coming out. Look at Kiwikaki darting forward with those Immortals. Not just smart because it kills the command center fast, but also tank fire only does 10 damage due to that hardened shell.
In case you have forgotten, Immortals do 50 damage versus armored units. That is actually probably one of the highest dealing units in the game when it comes to armored units. And now we see the Unsiege from DDE. Is he contemplating moving out? He does have Combat Shield about to finish here. Does have almost every single upgrade except for that infantry level weapon, or excuse me, infantry armor level 1. Kiwikaki does see this with that observer. And this is a huge attack coming out of DDE from Sixjax Gaming.
Now Kiwikaki pulling to the left. He's going to have to do some great force fields, but DDE can actually slow this push down and start sieging up. All the Vikings are actually landed. That's weird. Definitely should be lifting those up literally immediately.
And Sean, the big thing right now is that that charge upgrade is getting very close to being complete. As soon as that finishes, we might see a huge influx of Zealots into the army. There already is quite a bit right now, but they're going to be able to do so much more damage than without that upgrade. Sometimes you even see Terran players go ahead and try to snipe it because they know that timing oh so well.
Now look at this. We see the Blue Flame upgrade being researched for DDE and a factory with a reactor being planted as well. So it looks like DDE is doing some transitioning that we never see. Almost always, it's Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Viking. You get Ghosts to do the big damage against those large forces, but it looks like he wants to have the tanks and the Hellions clean that up. Here's a little bit of trading going on. The Zealots try to make their way forward, but the third will be established for DDE as he begins to increase that Hellion count.
And he really needs that high yield at this point in the game because unbeknownst to DDE, he does not have vision of this right expansion, nor the third expansion of Kiwikaki, but both Nexus are complete. The probes have begun transferring over. I love Kiwikaki's use of the Colossus here up on the high ground. He can't move those Vikings in range because, of course, those Stalkers will still be there on the ground to fire upwards.
And there's the +1 vehicle weapons. Again, DDE showing, I guess, what I would call a very free-form Terran. I mean, it uses a lot of the same principles as other Terran players' styles, but throwing in the tanks, getting some of those necessary upgrades for these weird unit mixes he's going for. But now with the amount of gateways that are out on the map, I mean, look at this. Up to 9 right now. Does have the solid 4th base. Both cannons are completed there. 2 Blue Flame Hellions could ruin the day, though. And double upgrades incoming for DDE.
Now, Kiwikaki swinging around to the other Xel'Naga tower. One more Colossus does join the fight. There's 5 total Colossus, and looks like that's going to be the money number for Kiwikaki to move out here. We'll be able to take down the refiner. There's a planetary fortress, so he does not want to lose any of those Zealots. Might pop in here to see if DDE has taken this base, but he will not find anything as of yet. He can also use those Colossus to range down the SCVs at the high yield. That's exactly what Kiwikaki plans to do there. At the same time, though, if DDE can get those tanks set up, so we see a scan coming in right over this entire army. And Kiwikaki's going to be moving in.
Oh, a big misstem by DDE. Almost all of those units down to the yellow health. Kiwikaki has not yet put probes into geysers at this third base of his.
Wow, look how much money Kiwikaki has right now. He's going to be able to reinforce his army so quickly. If we try to find, he's throwing down a ton of gateways right now. And yet another expansion here on the left. He is trying to kind of make DDE be more aggressive because he's just taking the map here as he is able to. There's really no threat whatsoever just yet.
Ooh, a limbo line of probes missed by DDE, who now sends the Blue Flame Hellions in, but Kiwikaki answers with a counterattack, and we see the siege up will be enough to deny that, but the Blue Flame Hellions have seemed to do their job. Vikings try to step forward, but Kiwikaki has such a heavy unit mixture. Immortals, Archons, Colossus, the works.
Kiwikaki soon to be on 5 bases at the moment. He's just controlling this map. We do have a random supply depot here in the back alleyway, also known as the Taste's Secret Hallway. Let's see if any units are going to be coming that way, but none yet. Here comes Kiwikaki coming back to the third base. Immediate repairs. Some force fields going down. He's trying to put down the planetary fortress, and he might very well get it. He does indeed, but at what cost? A lot of units were just lost. Those gateways are now going to be kicking in. So you see a lot of units being warped in. 13 Zealots back at home. Psystorm about to finish here, and DDE is going to be moving out. Needs to get rid of some of these bases, but Kiwikaki is making sure that he actually can't. DDE is going to be falling back.
Kiwikaki continues to threaten this counterattack, but DDE literally has one option at this point. Begin to move out aggressively, and it looks like DDE actually not going to be going to the right side, instead going to peel to the center base to try to encourage Kiwikaki to retreat himself, and it seems to work. We see the siege up, but Kiwikaki's not going to fall for that. He's not going to engage until the angle's just right. And I do not like this at all by Kiwikaki. DDE has been wanting this engagement all game long. The tanks from the backside are doing huge damage.
Oh, wow.
An enormous blunder by Kiwikaki. DDE taking the huge advantage in that exchange, but never mind. Kiwikaki seems to think that his gateway production is going to be enough. I still greatly dislike that play by Kiwikaki.
Now DDE actually not pulling his Vikings back there, letting them actually tank those Zealots. He did lose quite a bit that landed. If we go ahead and look at the production tab, we have some more, actually have 5 Archons, not some more Archons being warped in there from Kiwikaki, as well as a handful of Zealots. Now DDE needs to capitalize on this moment in the game. He needs to start denying these expansions of the Protoss player, because he currently has 4 bases up and running compared to the 2.5 really, or excuse me, 1.5 of DDE.
Some very cute command center placement by DDE. He's going to create a semi-wall there. It will delay the advancement forward of these units, but we have Zealots coming in from all sides. The Blue Flame Hellions dealing a lot of damage, but not nearly the damage output that he needs. The Zealot Archon Force picks off everything. Even the medevacs will fall. It looks like a little bit will be able to escape and live to fight another day. DDE still relatively even in food with Kiwikaki, though.
Archons, man, you know, for a while there, they were the joke of StarCraft 2, and now you just see them in so many more matchups. They do so much damage. 43 versus biological units. That is absurd, especially when actually being used against the Marauder Marine combo that you so often do see in this matchup from the Terran side of things.
2-2 upgrades for the Protoss, also 2-2 for DDE. The Blue Flame Hellions starting to make their way forward. They will be able to take out one Zealot. This expansion is looking mighty vulnerable, though, and the Blue Flame Hellions continue to move down southward. Can they find any area to pierce in through? Oh, wow, taking literally the longest route possible, going by every single structure that is here as they make their way up to this 4th.
There are stalkers right on their tail.
Cannons
are all over the place.
Oh no!
He's lining them up. Is he going to be able to get to him in time? He's standing behind
He's clumping them up, but he's not quite lining them up yet. DDE in a little bit of a stalemate position here. His army is dreadfully low at this point in time in terms of unit numbers. Hellions, they get cleaned up, and there is a great EMP right in the heart of those Archons, but it was in vain because Kiwikaki pulls back, lets it heal, and continues to control the pace of this game.
Sensor tower has been up for quite some time, but he does see this huge force of Kiwikaki moving up. One of the most fearful things in this army, of course, is that Psystorm. Some tank volleys will go down, but
wow! Oh, a massacre on all the SCVs. The Vikings annihilate the Colossi with ease. The Storm on the Vikings, though. Kiwikaki picking this defense apart.
Wow.
The Vikings don't even get the chance to land. And there's the good game. Kiwikaki shows us why he is one of the most consistent tournament performers out there. He was in control of that game start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he started taking the map with those expansions, he started off almost kind of risky, double expanding there pretty early on, and then he's pretty much capitalized on that. Was so much further ahead than DDE, and he was just never able to catch up. So Kiwikaki will take the first game. We're going to be headed to our second map, which I believe, yes,
it's going to be Shakuras Plateau. And I do think that the tank, it's not Shakuras Plateau?
It's Tal'Darim Altar.
It's Tal'Darim Altar. Oh, I made it on the wrong. Ah, yes, I'm looking at.
If people wonder why we're doing
sheet.
this, we have some cheat sheets down here that will tell us what is going on. There's not a magical gnome or anything down below.
It was like, you down there, what's the map? No, it is going to be Tal'Darim Altar coming up.
So
we are indeed in space now on Tal'Darim Altar. It's going to be essential for Kiwikaki to be very defendant. He needs to hold drops. Drops are very easy to do along the edges of the map if you're